Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another video. So in this lesson I'm actually back with a feature request from one of my viewers who wants me to implement temperature within this script. So with that said, we're going to do that now. Now in this video we're just going to get the basics in place, and then we'll work on actual functionality in the coming lessons. But for now, let's create a list of variables we're going to need. And as always, you can put these anywhere you like. I'm going to put mine here near the bottom. And we'll make this of type public. Again, I'm making this public so you can see it in the inspector. But you can go ahead and make this private if you wish. We'll make it of type float and we'll say underscore temperature. Let's close that line off. Into the comments, we'll say defines current temperature. We'll come below here and we're going to create of type public float underscore spring, and we're going to say spring temperature. Let's give this value of 10F. Let's close this line off. We'll come to the comments. So the value you give this will depend on what part of the world you're setting your game in. I come from a very cold part of the world, so my temps aren't going to be that high. Let's give a value of 10. But as always, I do encourage you to experiment with these values to find one that suits your project. We're going to put in the comments defines spring, and we're going to say base temperature. Now, the reason we put base is because we are going to implement temperature variance within each season, but this is sort of a base temperature that we will then have calculations coming off of that will give us a temperature variance. I hope that makes sense, and if not, please don't worry. You can always leave a comment, message me, or just wait for the coming videos and we'll go through it in more depth. So let's make things easy for ourselves. We'll copy that line, we'll paste it in 3 times, and we'll go ahead and we'll switch it out to summer temperature. We'll give this value of 20, and as always we'll go ahead and we'll tidy up and alter the comments as necessary. So the next one for autumn temperature, I'm going to leave that at 10, the same as spring, and let's just change the comment there. And finally for winter, we'll change the comment. Now at this point I should also mention that we are going to have the temperature alter depending on what phase of the day we are in. So we will have the temperature drop during nighttime and raise during the daytime, but that will be coming much later on. We need to get the basic temperature working, and then we'll come back and implement that as well. So the next one, public float again, underscore, and we'll just say spring. Let me just get rid of that, and we'll say temp, and we'll give this of variance underscore spring temp variance. Let's close that line off. Now no value is going to be applied to the variance at this point because we're going to have that generated randomly later on in the script, and again that will be coming in a future lesson. But for now, let's get the comments in place. So we'll say creates variable for storing temp variance during spring. Okay, again, let's copy this line and we'll paste it in 3 times, and just as before, we'll just go ahead and we'll swap out the naming convention. And as we always do, we'll tidy up and alter the comments as necessary. So there's autumn. And finally, for winter. Let's just save that there for a moment. So these are just the variables we'll need for the time being, and we have obviously our GUI as displayed here in the top right of our screen. So let's implement temperature into that GUI. So we'll come back to Mono Develop, and we're going to scroll all the way down to the on GUI. Let's come all the way to the bottom here, and we're going to come to this label where we display the years, and we're going to copy this label and we'll just paste it in below, and we'll change out what needs to be changed. Now as you can see, we're going up in values of 20, so this needs to be changed to 105. We can leave this comment as is, and we're going to come to this part of the line, and we're going to delete everything up into the closed brackets, and what we're displaying is the underscore temperature. If you notice the commas here, so if you don't have a comma here, remember to put one here. We're going to say plus, and then we're going to put the speech marks in. Let's just bring the comment back into line. Display temperature plus, we'll just say symbol. You can word that any way you like. So we could write degrees C in here, but as we all know, we can use a symbol for that. So how do you write that into Mono Develop? Well, I've attempted to do it the way you would normally do in some sort of Word document directly into Mono Develop, and it hasn't worked. So the way I found that does work is to open something, and you can just use Notepad for this, and there are 2 ways of doing it. So the first one is hold the Alt key, then on the numeric pad punch in 0176, and when you release the Alt key, there's the degree symbol. And if that does not work for you, you can also hold Alt and type in 248, release again, and it draws it again. So I will try and remember to put this into the description below, but that's how you can write the symbol for degrees C. So let's just cut that. I found it works better if you cut rather than copy for some reason. So we can paste that in, and now we have temperature plus the symbol and the C. And you can swap out where we put symbol in the comments to that as well. If you wish, you obviously can write the GUI, or not the GUI, the comments should I say, any way you wish, any way that helps you to remember. Let's downsize Mono Develop and let's hit play. And as you can see, we have 0 degrees C, which is actually working properly, and that's because we've implemented no functionality as of yet to pass any value if I can scroll up fast enough, into this variable. So this variable has no value as of yet, which is why it's displaying 0 degrees C. And obviously we'll be doing that in the coming lesson, and we'll just come back here. Now you may want to put just a little space between this first speech mark and the symbol for degree. If we save that off there, it can just help create a little buffer and make it look a little bit nicer in the GUI. So that's a lot better, and in fact, because we are going to have temperatures that go into double digits, I'm going to put an extra space in there. So 2 spaces now between the first speech mark and the degrees C. So let's save that off there. So we have the basics in place, we have the variables, and it's displaying on our GUI. And in the next lesson we'll begin work on actual functionality, but I think it would be best to start that and work on that in the next lesson. So we'll leave it here for now. As always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.